Hey everyone, I've been given an opportunity with an ambassador spot at Coffee Brand Coffee. If you enjoy coffee without politics, try them out. Great coffee, no gimmicks. I haven't tried them out yet, but I'm waiting on my order to come through. Um, Basically, with them being such a new company, they have a lot of sales and a lot of reviews. But most importantly, they've accepted me into their ambassador program, and this is a huge step forward for my content. This is not an ad. They're not paying for these comments. They're not endorsing me to say these things in any way, shape, or form. But I'm doing so out of my pure gratitude for the company giving me this opportunity. Um, the short answer is go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, use promo code AllStarScrubs at checkout to get a 5% off discount. And thank you, Coffee Brand Coffee, and thank you, Jeremy, for helping me move forward with my content. This means the world to me. So I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff, no real like plan, overline, script, or anything of that nature. So basically, the idea of what I'm getting at here with what I'm doing with this video is kind of highlighting the importance of why the writer's strike is actually a good thing. So I'm just doing my thing, going about my business, watching YouTube on my phone while I'm getting ready for the day, and I just happen to get suggested a random video out of the blue. And I'm gonna lay down a foundation of information just so I can kind of roll with my thoughts. But like, we all know how YouTube and Google operates. We know the aggressive data collection. We all know that they know everything about us, so on and so forth, to the point to where I've been on various back-end pages and seen the legitimate terabytes of information they've collected on me, my habits, my trends, keywords that they know are I am interested in, or phrases, so on and so forth. And it completely confuses me that this just decided to show up today after it's existed for some time. Um, and then to add to that, the insidious or incestuous nature of big business and the idea that big business seems to only be concerned with promoting other big businesses. So Alphabet only promoting big Hollywood productions, big Hollywood writers, big Hollywood actors, and seemingly projects like this just go completely under the radar. And like I said in the comments section, had I known this project existed, I would have put whatever little money I had towards making sure this project seen the light of day. And so I'm going to get to the point. This is a show that I found on uh, YouTube. It's called Peach Creek, or the channel's called Peach Creek. Here, give me a second while I turn off my webcam and reveal the full screen real quick. So yeah, it's called Peach Creek. It's an unofficial Edd and Eddy sequel, and I am in love with this show. Oh my god, this show is amazing. I sat down and watched it all the way through, completely engrossed. Now, I'm not going to play it all the way through for obvious reasons, for copyright and for integrity purposes, as well as I want anyone and everyone to go to this channel, subscribe, and watch this if possible. But what I am going to do is probably start the first couple of seconds, play a couple of things through, speak on it, and then go through and play a sequence that I really enjoyed. But here we go. It has a very Flash animation feel to it, but it's really clean for being like a Flash feel. You can tell they're appealing to my generation with the nostalgia, the art style, and you'll see with the writing, the voice acting, and so on. This is a passion project. Like was pointed out in the comments section, the show started with Double D's sticky notes all over. Of course an ad came through. Yeah, the... like in the comments was pointed out, the show started with Double D's room and all of his little labels and sticky notes and so on and so forth. And so this is just a cool little homage to open this show up with Double D's sticky notes in the garbage, and or rather labels, and you'll see the sticky notes throughout the house. But you can see that they've had time and age to them. It's again, it's just little details, little details. They even did aspect ratio and the old CRTVs and not widescreen for the first sequences as well. Little details. Please feel free to laugh at me. I don't remember the exact terms for the aspect ratios. Like I said, it's the old square aspect ratios for CRTVs before we all transitioned to widescreen.
It's not that she's always late. It's that she never wants to actually study.
So just all kinds of little details. Eddie for president in the background. Naz talking. You know, just little things.
Jesus, Lumpy. Do you want some sandwich with your gravy?
Oh. We're going to go ahead and stop that now because of music. So I'm going to skip ahead to another small sequence. And then I'm going to skip to my favorite sequence.
Right. Three cigarettes is three too many. Could you perhaps, if it's not too much trouble, help us, Eddie?
Tell you what, Sockhead. Let me think. No.
Oh, the life of a teenager, preferring to contaminate their lungs rather than do something worthwhile.
Okay, Ronald Reagan. Besides, I got work tonight. Night shift. Give me a break.
I think you'll be giving yourself plenty of breaks, in all honesty.
Oh, I forgot to say. Johnny started this week. Freaking weird seeing him.
I haven't seen him in years!
Lumpy, it's only been a few months.
Johnny 2x4. 4x2. 4x2x2x4? What was it?
I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna let this sequence play out again for just another moment. But it's just I have to point out, like, this little project, for whatever reason, they've gotten character writing down to a T. I keep repeating the idea of a passion project, but you can tell the people behind this really love this, and so do I. I mean, you can't really like boil down the personality traits this well and then repeat it this well. This is how you do a remake or a redo or a rehash or an homage or whatever fancy words we're putting on it these days. This is how you redo a beloved property. Hollywood really needs to take note from this.
Did we even ever call him that in the original show?
Season 1, I think. He's a hell of a lot quieter now, though.
Yes, well, being a social outcast and ostracized by everybody would do that to you. Does he still have Plank?
Oh, that dumb piece of wood he carried around? Nah, that's long gone. Just him. He was on frying duty. And you know what that meant, Double D?
Dare I ask?
I can deserve the
customer.
Hey, quit stealing my lines, Lumpy.
Again, little animation details that they do to just really hammer home the idea that this is Edd and Eddy. Like, they really got it down to a fucking T. So I'm gonna probably let this sequence play through in full just because I can't even really begin to explain it or set it up. I just can't. So I'm just gonna let it run. I may pause periodically because of copyrights, but I think I'm throwing this up on Rumble, so it shouldn't matter as much as it does on YouTube, but it will hit YouTube probably as well. So let's go. that's like the original animation. Like they updated the animation to their own style a little bit, but for this sequence they went back to the original color palette, the original animation style, the original line work. I mean, everything about this is absurdly well detailed.
Thought you wanted to hang with your hero. Say, Uncle.
Dutch?
You need to quiet your mind and listen. First, you need a trio to ensure success. But one is now leaving. Second, one who grew around a corrupting force transferred it to a curlio with a line. Third, and please listen closely. When drawn, your story continues. For now, you must continue to take heed of the world around you.
Like one bounding between two planes. Dance with me, pipsqueak.
God. This is the second time watching it through, and it just has just just an impact. It just hits. God, I'm losing track of my smart words. But yeah, this is something. This is something. I can't even. I need to take a moment to just like recollect my thoughts, because it's just watching that again just sends you through a friggin' loop. Oh my god, man. Yeah, but no, getting back to the point was what I was talking about. Like this project is absurd. Please go check these guys out on all their social platforms. I have them on screen now, at least through the description. I'm doing this all through my Xbox, not through my PC, to divert processing power because my PC's crap. So bear with me not being able to pull up as everyone's pages as cleanly as I'd like to. I'll probably throw it in later in post if I have to, but yeah, so please go check these guys out. They're freaking amazing. Looks like it says twitter.com/peachcreekshow, which is now x.com, facebook.com/peachcreekshow, Instagram @peachcreekshow, same thing, YouTube peachcreek. I would hope they get on Rumble too, to be honest, but that's the whole other argument for a whole nother day. But yeah, this is going to tie back into what I started with at the beginning of the video. The idea that this is what happens when there isn't gatekeeping and a stranglehold on the creative industry. When things like the writer strikes and the Actors Guild strikes and so on and so on and so forth happen, you see like projects like this bubble to the surface. There's a reason why certain movies are as popular as they are, is because they buck the current cultural narrative or they buck the Hollywood narrative. And it's hilarious because like some of the biggest movies right now have been like Top Gun, have been Oppenheimer, have been The Unspeakable Sound of Freedom. And these projects in varying degree of scale, proportion, funding, so on and so forth, only come to the surface when there isn't as hard of a control on the industry like there has been over the last 10, 15, 20 years, it seems. Like, I haven't really seen any like level of creativity like this since growing up, to be honest. Like 2006 to 2016 area was kind of like a hit and miss for creativity, for me and for my childhood. You know, we often talk about how 2006 was one of the best eras for music. Some of the greatest albums and some of the greatest artists became popular at that point in time. You have YouTube, like before and after the Google merger, where it just exploded and creativity was at its peak. I mean, there was a lot of nonsense. YouTube blew up into a minefield of who knows what the hell you're going to click on next. But it allowed for big time creators to bubble to the surface, random nobodies to get established in an industry that was so heavily controlled that, you know, the trope was you had to move to California and reestablish your whole life there and reestablish your whole person just to have a chance. And now random people on their computers can just throw a little project together, said, hey, I got an idea, let's put some money, let's do this thing. And you end up with this. Like you end up with this thing right here, where I want to sit here and go on this huge diatribe with big fancy words and all kinds of philosophy, but I'm just blown away by the quality of the product that was produced here. And then I'm so heavily disappointed and discouraged by the fact that I literally just found out about this today within the last hour or two. And we may be on the verge of another creative wellspring, so to speak, because people are starting to see the cracks in the system and people are starting to understand the flaws with the way things are run. And for better or for worse, people are fighting back. And it's just curious to see what may come of this new era, so to speak. Because it's easy to fall into fatalism or nihilism, doom and gloom, and so on and so forth, and getting black pilled and thinking that there's no hope for the future. But then you get completely hit out of left field with something like this that completely shakes up your ability to process and reason information to the point to where you don't even know what to do, what to think, or how to move forward. But there's an underlying layer of hope, to be honest. That's like the only thing I can draw from this, because I don't really have the words to put to why this project makes me happy and how I choose to see the future because of things like this, other than we're possibly moving into another version of the golden age of entertainment. And I'm not going to go too deep into this point. I'll probably finish on this point as well too, but it's another reason why I'm not all that concerned about AI being involved in writing and in editing and so on and so forth, because the clean answer that I can give without having to go too deep into it is that until AI can develop a degree of reasoning and rational thinking ability independently of conditioning or third party involvement, whether it be humans or another program, I don't see it being able to replace the creative element that is the human in the arts. What I see it doing is clearing the field and resetting the status quo for what we define as arts. So, like we've seen, a lot of companies have decided that they're going to do like basic script writing and screenplays through AI programs, and it gives them a good, decent, rough outline, and then they send that off to a team of people to clean it up and make it human. And that's where I see the industry going. Same thing with visual arts. There's a big kerfuffle happening with a bunch of creators, including Corridor Crew, and they're catching a lot of flack for creating a AI art program. And I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the argument, but the point that I'm getting to is that people are really mad at them because they're claiming that it's art. They're getting a little arrogant and self-righteous, holier than thou attitude in regards to whether or not it's art. And I don't think it even goes that far. I really think it's as simple as they created a tool and marketed it at the right time to make the most money, to be honest, because the AI is the hot button issue. There's the writer's strike, and they just created a aggressive filtering tool to really alleviate a tedious and burdensome process. And for better or for worse, this product now exists, and they created it. They just did it in the most opportune or inopportune time possible, and that's to be determined. I'm not going to attribute intent. I'm just saying it's marketing freaking genius to launch this thing right about when the writers and actors strike happens, and then put this on a market when these big dollar industries are going to be thirsty for something to fill the void and be willing to do the Fry meme, shut up and take my money. So I don't know. I'm not going to put any intent on them. I'm just saying that it's brilliant business strategy from a third party perspective. But as to the argument that it's art, I disagree. It is not art. The argument could be made that they themselves, Corridor Crew, what they produce, the video they produce, could be considered art because it's their program. They use their stock footage, and they potentially use their own photography and their own artwork, drawings, doodles, and so on and so forth, which I don't think they did, but bear with me. If they had used their own artwork that some guy drew up in the backgrounds, and then use the AI to compile all this into an AI drawn anime, then yeah, I would consider it art, albeit cheap art, because it's a product that was created through resources and materials that they generated themselves. So with that being said, from what I'm understanding from the situation, oh goodness, we're hitting a frame drop for no reason. Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this out whenever this decides it's done shitting the bed. Okay. So, going back to what I said, I'm gonna rehash some of the points because I'm gonna have to cut this out in post anyways, probably, or it'll fix it, or maybe I'll just put it in whole raw. Fuck it, I don't care. So the argument being made that a lot of people are throwing the shade at Corridor Crew is the idea that, yeah, they created the program, yeah, they used their footage, but then they used, let's just say, Bing or Google images search for anime, you know, in quotations, not saying that's what they literally did, and then use that to condition the AI to then convert their stock footage into something that looks animated, or rather apply an animated layer over top of the already stock footage. And you get into like the whole creative argument in fair use anyways. Well, it's 2/3 their product, so is it theirs? Yes. And then since it's 2/3 their product, is it still creative? Yes. But is it scummy? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And again, the whole thing wouldn't be as bad if, again, from a bird's eye view, if they didn't have like a holier than thou attitude and we are creating art, we are if they were just honest and said like, we created a program, guys, do with it what you will, I don't think anyone would care, to be honest. But again, that's me putting my 2 cents in a fucking social issue I don't really care about. I just happened to see it while I was going through my YouTube feed, and it's more or less relevant to what I'm talking about here in this video. But yeah, no, I just wanted to just kind of do something on this because I was just so blown away by the quality of this project that I had to say something about it. And hey, look, there goes the frame drop again. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the recording here before my computer shits the bed some more. Yeah.